Thank you, Jason David Frank.
And Mr. Saban.
And thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing.
And don't forget to ring the bell so you know if I only upload new content.
That's Tom.
And that's Chris. Decca. What do we got on deck for today?
Get ready to learn a lesson, because today you will talk about your top 5 mentors.
We're finally going to rank our favorite mentors.
About time.
This is going to be a good one, so stay tuned.
It's PRNT time.
After 10,000 years, I'm free! It's time to watch PRNT!
Welcome, Rangers.
This episode of
PRNT,
your source for all things
Power Rangers.
As we heard in the opening, it's finally time to talk about and rank our favorite mentors.
Now, the criteria for our ranking will be the same as the ranking from our Tommy ranking episode. Check the card. Overall effectiveness and contributions to the team.
For this list, we went with a top 5 list with 3 honorable mentions.
So without further ado, let's get going.
Our number 5 mentor is Captain William Mitchell from Lightspeed Rescue.
We had to throw Lightspeed in there somewhere,
Yes, we did, of course.
Now, we know that Captain Mitchell had to be a great leader. After all, he was put in charge of the Aqua Base and the Ranger Project, but it goes deeper than that.
Being a former firefighter, Captain Mitchell has experience and wisdom that makes him a valuable asset when his Rangers are out in the field.
He is able to make snap decisions and give the proper command, even when others may not agree with him.
We see this early on in the season when he gives Carter the direct order to put out a fire before saving a child.
Now, because Carter did put out that fire, the child did become injured.
Right, but when questioned about his call, Mitchell explained to Carter that if he had not first put out the fire, that fire would have ignited a larger fuel source, which would cause a huge explosion, which would have resulted in many more injuries.
It was a tough call, but the right one.
Right.
And only an experienced and effective mentor could have made it.
Right. This brings us to our number 4 mentor, G from Samurai.
G's dedication to the Samurai team and his willingness to be a mentor is what landed him on this list.
G spent years and years training Jaden to become the Red Ranger, and when it came time to assemble the full Ranger team, he spent days and weeks training the other Rangers in both fighting styles and the use of their symbol power.
Mentor G also was seen out on the battlefield a few times clad in his armor.
Which tells us that when the chips are down, he could be counted on to go out and help his team, even though he doesn't have any Ranger powers.
His willingness to fight and his dedication to train the Rangers make him a great addition to this list.
Right. Moving on now to our number 3 mentor, my buddy, RJ. Like G, RJ also spent a lot of time training the Rangers, and he even became a Ranger himself to join in on the fight.
RJ also possessed the knowledge of the Morphin Grid, and used it to create weapons for the Rangers, which is very helpful indeed.
Right. We also saw the true nature of RJ's heart when he sacrificed himself to be captured in order to spare his Ranger team.
And then we also saw RJ befriend the enemy by saving Flit, which turned out to be a beneficial friendship, because Flit later helped free RJ's father from the Crystal Eye.
Right. RJ's knowledge about the Morphin Grid, his willingness to step into battle, and his huge heart are all major contributions to his team, and it definitely earned him a spot on our list.
This brings us to our number 2, the man himself, Zordon.
Now, we know that Zordon couldn't contribute like RJ and G, did by being on the front lines because he's stuck in his tube, but he definitely makes up for it in his own way.
There is no greater knowledge about the Morphin Grid and the history of the Rangers than Zordon.
Right. Throughout all the years, he had the knowledge necessary to solve any problems the Rangers may face.
Right. From an evil Green Ranger to returning the Rangers to their proper ages, Zordon could be counted on to help the Rangers through anything.
Right. He also knew when to say nothing and let his Ranger team figure things out for themselves, which is a great quality for any mentor to have.
And let's not forget that during the time of In Space, Zordon basically told Andros to destroy him in order to save the world.
Right. His knowledge of the morphing grid and his ultimate sacrifice definitely earned him the number 2 spot on our countdown.
Now, before we get to our number 1, let's go over our 3 honorable mentions.
The first of which is Dr. O from Dino Thunder. If there was ever a person who could compare with Zordon's knowledge and experience in the morphing grid, it would have to be Tommy.
I love you, JDF.
That's right.
This knowledge and his history of being a Ranger proved invaluable to his Ranger team.
Yeah, but I do have a problem with having Dr. O as a mentor.
Are you questioning JDF?
No. Hear me out. Okay. During his season, Dr. O was out of commission for like half of the season. He was either encased in amber, or invisible, or some other thing like that. Okay? So it's not really contributing to your team too much. Right? Yeah. So I think the real invaluable person of this team had to be Haley. She had the knowledge and the know-how to tap into the morphing grid and build some pretty cool weapons for the Dino Thunder team.
That's a good point. From the hovercraft cycle to the semi-mobile command center, she made some pretty huge contributions.
Right. I mean, she stepped up in Dr. O's absence, and she helped the Rangers with whatever they needed in their attempt to defeat Mesogog's forces. You know, I don't know about you, but I definitely think that deserves an honorable mention spot on our list.
Agreed, yep. Our next honorable mention is another Dr. letter.
Okay.
Dr. K from RPM.
Okay.
Her knowledge and skill, which led to the success of Project Ranger, was invaluable.
Right. She developed the suits, she created the morphers, and even most of the tech.
There wouldn't be a Ranger team without her, so why is she only an honorable mention?
Well, it's true there wouldn't be a Ranger team without her, but remember there wouldn't be a need for a Ranger team without her, because she was the one that created the Vengex virus, which resulted in the need for the Ranger team in the first place.
Yeah, I guess you can't be the cause of the near end of the world and expect to be on the list.
Right, yeah. It just doesn't work that way. Same goes for our next honorable mention, Andrew Hartford.
His discovery of the Corona Aurora released Flurious and Moltor from their prisons and resulted in the need of a Ranger team.
But Andrew, with his vast wealth, more than made up for it by his contributions to the Overdrive Rangers. I mean, with that money, he was constantly building bigger and better Zords.
And let's not forget his creation of Mac, without whom the Rangers would be leaderless.
Now, we know that he originally had himself to be the Red Ranger, but we think that Mac was a much better choice, and that the Rangers might not nearly have been successful if Andrew had been the leader of the team.
Now, the moment you all have been waiting for. Our number 1 mentor is Anubis Doggy Kruger.
Oof. What a mentor that guy was. Yeah.
His natural leadership skills, which made him a great base commander, also allowed him to be a great mentor to a Ranger team.
Yeah. His skills and knowledge in combat, his compassion for his team, his willingness to fight with his team make him our number 1 mentor all day. Yeah.
We see all these things throughout the season of SPD.
Right. We see his knowledge about leadership right off the bat when he chooses to make Sky the Blue Ranger instead of the Red Ranger.
We see his skill as a fighter when he becomes the Shadow Ranger.
Yeah. We see his wisdom when he refuses to let B Squad take advantage of those Shadow Ranger skills by refusing to enter a battle. You know, then he forces B Squad to find the power in themselves again and the skills necessary to defeat the enemy.
And we see his compassion for his team when he mows down 100 Crybots and General Banog to save Cat without blinking an eye.
Yeah. And talk about contribution to the cause. Doggy battles Grum multiple times one-on-one, and their last battle, Doggy even fought Grum unmorphed. Just mano a mano.
That's right. And instead of just destroying him, he shows a sense of honor by just capturing him.
Yeah, in one of those little cards. Even though Doggy had every right to destroy Grum. You know, Grum destroyed Doggy's home planet of Sirius, and he held Doggy's wife captive for years and years and years and years. Yeah.
Doggy is just a great mentor, and his huge contributions to his team made him our number one.
Right. Now this concludes our list. If you agree or disagree with us, or we even want to see your own list, either A, comment below, or send us a message or comment on any of our social media. That's right.
That's right. Before we totally wrap up, though,
Right.
we are semi-sad to announce this is our last giveaway. Wow, no, not episode.
Oh, okay. Oh,
PRNT is going to go on for a while. But this will be our last giveaway in our giant giveaway marathon that's been going on for, well, at least a month and a half now.
Yeah. We've given away lanyards, posters, t-shirts, coloring books. We've given away a lot of stuff, but we have one thing left, and what is it?
It is our second Tommy t-shirt. We gave away one of these before.
Right.
But we have one more, and we are giving it away now.
That's right. But in order to give it away, you need a question. You need to answer this question right here. And how are they going to answer that question?
Head on over to our Facebook page and send us a personal message giving us the answer to this question.
That's right. And the question is, which former cast member came back for Forever Red in Power Rangers Wild Force at the very last minute? Okay, we know we love the episode Forever Red, but which former cast member came back for Forever Red in Power Rangers Wild Force at the very last minute?
That's right. Just send us the actor's name through personal message on Facebook, and you'll be entered in the drawing.
That's right. Good luck.
Thank you guys so much for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing.
And don't forget to ring the bell so you get notified when we upload new content. And remember, as we sign off, our hope is that the power will always protect you.
Let's power down.
Hey Rangers, thanks for checking out this episode.
If you want to see more, be sure to click the link to the left to see our most popular video.
Check out the link on the right to see our most recent upload.
And aim for that button in the center to subscribe if you haven't already.
And if you still want more, be sure to check out our social media pages where we post all sorts of things to be your source for all things Power Rangers.